This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/iHeart.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com, ODOO.com.
Join us at Shields in Eden Prairie this Saturday from noon to 3 for TB1 Fun's Putt for Patience, mini golf, food trucks, bounce houses, prizes, and more. Plus meet and greets with our own Paul Allen, Justin Gard, Marnie Gellner, and K102's Muss. Tickets start at just $5 for kids. Visit tb1fun.org for details.
You know who else is making a surprise appearance there? Joe Bonamassa. Not really. I had to do the rose. Not really. Because in case you believed that.
I did believe. Yeah, I thought Joe was coming until
exactly.
Yeah,
and correct. I had to make sure because I don't want people to go there expecting Joe Bonamassa there and then blame me and then leave 5- and 6-year-old children, crying and throwing a temper tantrum because Joe Bonamassa didn't show up. Time for 534 here.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Question number 1.
It's now time to take an in-depth look at the welfare of the wolves.
Guys like LeBron James and Steph Curry getting up there in age, there's always a discussion on who the next face of the NBA will be. Well, here's what Charles Barkley said about that topic last night.
OKC is the best team in the NBA. I've been telling y'all that for 2 months. Hey, ESPN, I love you guys. Don't try to make Anthony Edwards the face of the NBA. The face of the NBA is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Joker, and Giannis. You can't give it to people. They have to take it. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is taking it.
Common, do you agree with Chuck?
Yeah, I do. And we love Ant here. And he's got a ton of talent. It's anybody that you just watch and you go, the kid's really good, but it's idolization and pedestalization. It's part of the game of trying to ordain new players as the guy, and sometimes they are, and sometimes they're not. Yeah, we see it a lot especially in the NFL with quarterbacks. Kids drafted 2 overall is going to be a superstar, and then a lot of times they flame out. So, yeah, I think you do have to earn it. Ant's got all the skills, but it's not. I agree. The other 3 are more the. Well, then, you could even say Steph Curry. There are other names you can toss in there. I mean, Curry has been a 4-time NBA champion, the best three-point shooter in the league, but he is aging now, so he's not one of the youngsters. But, yeah, I tend to agree with Chuck. Do you think that's there's something to what he said. Or
Yeah, I like because like that discussion's been happening a lot, right? Because of LeBron and Steph Curry and Durantula and all these guys that seem to be getting up there in age. Who's going to be the next face? I think Anthony Edwards could be that guy, but I agree with Chuck that it's not on us or the media or the fans to just deem who it is going to be. It's on them to take it. So Anthony needs to go take it.
Question number 2.
We're gonna win, Twins, we're gonna score.
It's now time to delve deep into Twins territory.
Crack out a home run, shout a hit, hooray! Cheer for the Minnesota Twins today.
Joe Ryan just gave up 1 run on 5 hits over 6 innings, leading the Twins to a 4-2 win over the Tampa Bay Rays last night at George M. Steinbrenner Field. In the month of May, Ryan, 1.86 ERA with 33 strikeouts and 5 walks in 29 innings. Common, is Joe Ryan the Twins' best pitcher, and is he an ace?
I think he's the best pitcher on the team. Rosen, I don't know if he stole it from Lieber, but he made that claim, I think, earlier at the beginning of the year. And I thought maybe Mark had just been working out too hard with the fitness king. But I think he might be right. Joe Ryan is really, really good. Is he an ace? Scratching the surface if he's not. What are his numbers right? Did you just have last night's numbers?
This is the month of May.
Right.
1.86 ERA, 33 strikeouts, 5 walks in 29 innings.
That sounds like the best pitcher in baseball in the month of May. I don't have any other numbers in front of me. Maybe there's been other pitchers.
I thought I said there were maybe like 4 other pitchers had a better ERA in May, but
those are astonishing numbers, and team's starting to play better. It's obvious. I know we had a couple of games where we didn't hit the ball as well, but if you can pitch and play defense, you give yourself a chance to win a ball game. That's what the Twins have been doing. So, yeah, Joe Ryan, I'd give the ball to him in a must-win game. You know, if the Twins are good enough to qualify for postseason play, I could see him being your number 1 starter. I don't, and I still think Lopez is one of those guys scratching the surface of a real ace. So, yeah, but I like Joe Ryan a lot.
Question number 3.
The PGA Tour is eliminating the controversial starting strokes format from the Tour Championship in its latest attempt to make its season-ending tournament more compelling and climactic for golf fans. Starting with this year's Tour Championship at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta, all 30 players in the field will start at even par in a stroke play tournament. The winner after 72 holes will capture the FedEx's Cup and collect a bonus and 5-year PGA Tour exemption. The PGA Tour considered other ways to play the Tour Championship, including a bracket-style format with head-to-head play. The Tour said the PAC would continue to examine the field size and qualification standards for future Tour Championships. And the PGA Tour said its rules committee will, quote, adjust its course setup approach to encourage more risk-reward moments throughout each round, further heightening the drama and competition. Common, do you like the changes being made to the Tour Championship?
I thought it was I wouldn't even watch. You give Scotty Scheffler a 2-shot lead at the beginning of the tournament? What?
Yeah, I'd never watched Tour Championship.
Why would you do that? I mean, I know because you've earned.
You're trying to reward this season.
But it's preposterous. A 2-shot lead isn't insurmountable. But if it's.
Well, that's only a 2-shot lead on one guy, right? I mean, the rest of the field immensely more.
That's it. It goes down to they probably got like an 8-shot lead by the time you get down to the bottom. Yeah, I thought that was the most ridiculous thing. I agree. I'm glad they made that change. Absolutely, I think it was the right thing to do.
A part of me is intrigued by the bracket style. Let's say you put in 32 competitors, and you got 1 versus 32, and maybe you play match play. A part of me is intrigued by that, but I guess what. The downfall of that is you might get to the final round and it's a yawner because one guy's, he's winning 6-4.
Yes.
As opposed to, if you have multiple guys on the board, you got Rory here, you got Scheffler here, you got Morikawa, and they're all within a stroke or two in the last 4 or 5 holes. I get that aspect, but I'm kind of intrigued by the bracket.
Yeah, stuff. I'm not a big match play guy because we see it in like the U.S. Amateur. You'll have the first and second guy playing third and fourth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's slow because you're just watching two guys hit a shot, then they have to walk to it. It's not like a regular
not much
stroke,
action.
Yeah, stroke play. But when you're going back and forth, like, let's go to 13, back out to 18, And, so it really doesn't matter. I think Scheffler is going to win everything. He's going to win. What if he wins both the next two majors as well? I wouldn't bet against
What if he gets out to a two-stroke lead early on?
Well, you know what? It's always nice to get out to a two-stroke lead, but I'd rather stay even par as long as you can.
I always love that
Thank
one.
you.
Question number 3. It's time now
Look at the links.
a look at the links.
Yeah, the Lynx are off to a 5-0 start, their best start to a season since the 2017 team began 9-0 after they beat the Seattle Storm 82-77 last night at Target Center.
What did that 2017 team
I think that was a championship team.
You are correct.
Kayla McBride played in her first game of the season. She scored 15 points. Courtney Williams added 23 on 10 of 18 shooting. And MVP, Nafisa Collier, added 16 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals, and 2 blocks. By the way, she was named WNBA Player of the Month for May, even though it was only like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But
and Rosen's already declared her the MVP for the season. They're 5 games.
5 games in.
They were 4 games in when he said, well, she's going to win the MVP.
MVP. Common, what sticks out to you from the Lynx's win over the Storm?
That hockey hasn't done a song called "It's MVP." She's dynamite. That's what stands out most to me. Nothing. This is like now we're at the point with the Lynx where it's like I'm just waiting for postseason now. I mean, it's they're going to qualify for. They're really. Did I also see this? Did I read this right? I read the Cheryl Reeves piece yesterday. I think it was Fish Wrap West. Is the combined record of the teams they played like 2-11? So, and again, they don't.
I think the team they played last night was a little bit better, but yes, they played the Wings twice. Now the Wings, Paige Becker's got their first win last night.
Okay. So you've heard me say this. If you've heard me say this once, you've heard me say 1,400 times. Team A isn't responsible for putting Team B, C, D, E, F, G's roster together, or they don't put the schedule together. But yeah, I'm anxious to see when they play some teams that seem to have a bit more talent and seem to be a bit more cohesive how they do. But right now it's full steam ahead, me boy.
Could do a quick one.
You do as many as you want.
Question number 3. And now it's time to go. In the paint.
Tyrese Halliburton finished with 32 points, 15 assists, and 12 rebounds as the Indiana Pacers defeated the New York Knicks 130-121 last night to take a 3-1 lead in the Eastern Conference Finals. Common, which team is more likely to come back from a 3-1 deficit, the Wolves or the Knicks?
I was dozing in and out during last night's game, so correct me if I'm wrong. Did Halliburton, did he have a triple-double almost at halftime? Wasn't he like 1 assist away or a rebound away from a triple-double? That's in one half of basketball.
Messed around and got a triple-double.
Yeah, that just seems almost implausible. I guess I could homer it and say the Wolves. But I guess I would say Knickerbockers only because, and maybe I'm slighting the Pacers. Maybe it'll be Pacers versus Thunder and the Pacers will win the NBA title. I agree with Barkley when he said in that soundbite you played, I've been saying for 2 months that they're the best team in basketball. I think the Thunder is the best team in basketball, so I just think it would be harder for the Wolves.
I think the Wolves are better than the Knicks.
Yes.
But I think the Thunder is better than the Pacers.
That is correct, and that's why I would go that direction. And pick, I think the Knicks might have a better chance to.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 Questions. Well, actually, 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
Rock Talk at 1:30. However, controversial Vikings news on the other side of the break. Common Man program on the Fan.
Are you shopping for a new laptop while still trying to keep up with technology and AI? Talk about feeling burnt out, but no more. Lenovo.com makes it easier than ever to find the perfect PC. In fact, we'll break it down for you. Step 1. Shop our lineup of AI PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors. Because why deal with downloading new software when you can buy a smarter PC that already comes with all of the AI features and tools? Step 2. Find the one that fits your passion. Whether you're a creative genius, a research scientist, a hardcore gamer, or a future CEO, no dream is too big. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. You can keep up with your ideas as well as any challenges you may face. Step 3. Add to cart and purchase. Oh, if you're a college student or a teacher, make an education account through us and get 5% off your whole order. Shop now at Lenovo.com. A better future is waiting, and it needs you.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/iHeart.
KFAN.
Get ready, Minnesota. The legendary Bryan Adams is bringing his Roll with the Punches tour to Target Center on November 26th.
Bryan Adams.
Don't miss this epic night of rock anthems and unforgettable hits. Tickets are on sale now. Get all the full details at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
I have a problem remembering a hit of Bryan Adams. No, he did Summer of '69.
Yeah, I know that one.
That's he had a nice run in the '80s. Trust me. I spun a lot of hot stacks of wax back in the '80s, and we played plenty. Bryan Adams, Athletic, tend to be. I think you're familiar with it.
The what?
It's an online sports page. They cover all the sports, all the cities, everywhere. They plucked the best sports writers in the country out of every major market and put them under one umbrella. Dan Hayes, has he won the PST twice?
Just once.
Just once. Could have won it probably a second time. Was his for, what was it?
That was for the guy standing around for 9 innings. Got to build up to it.
Yeah. Way to go, Danny. He writes about the Twins and the, this is a story that appeared last night when I got home. It was late last night. Twins making progress on sale of club. Poll ad sticking to $1.7 billion price, according to the source. Hayes writes, though the Minnesota Twins are making progress in finding potential buyers, the Pollad family remains firm in its desire for a $1.7 billion price tag, potentially extending the process. A person briefed on the Twins' pivot since Chicago billionaire Justin Ishbia abandoned his bid to buy the club in late January, described the team's headway as good. And the potential backers are high-quality parties, saying the groups included multiple anchor/lead investors. But with the Twins sticking to their asking price and concerns from interested parties about the team's future revenues, the endgame remains fluid more than 7.5 months after the Pohlads announced they would explore selling the team. New York City-based capital market company Allen & Company is handling the sale of the club, which Carl Pohlad bought from Calvin Griffith for $44 million in '84. In March, the Twins are estimated to be worth between $1.5 billion and $1.7 billion by Forbes and Sportico, is that how I say it, respectively. The source said there's no deadline. We're dealing with multiple parties, and whoever gets to the finish line first will be the winning party. The Pohlads are prepared to wait until the right deal comes along, and they're saying that could materialize at any time. Because, again, contrary to what Michelle Bachmann once said, she said that the world is running out of rich people.
I always love that
That's certainly not the case. And there are plenty of rich people that would love to own a Major League Baseball team, because pro sports teams, I don't think, unless I'm missing something, they don't go on the market very often. Somebody buys them and they like keeping them. It's fun, own a pro sports team. It's a great hobby. So they don't come up for sale very often. So when they do, I think there are always a number. I don't know what that number of interested parties is. I mean, how many people do you think tend to be out there, billionaire type people who say, I'd love to own a baseball team? I bet there's got to be a couple 13, 14 for sure. And so how many of those like the situation? And, they can be discerning too. I mean, you got to be careful because they don't come up often, so you want to get while the getting's good. But if you look at a team and go, I guess like the Ishbia guy said, you know what? I'll stick with because didn't he own part of the Cubs or the White Sox? And I think he bought more of it or something to that effect. So sometimes you can just sit on your hands and say, I'll pass, I'll wait for the next opportunity, though the next opportunity might not come up quickly. I would think whoever buys the club, I shouldn't say I think, I would hope that they would approach payroll a little differently. I mean, we know you can't necessarily buy a championship. We can go through the litany of teams that have been in the top 10 in payroll, and then how many of those have won the big game. I think in most cases, a top 10 payroll team does win the World Series. I don't think it's very often that it's not. And more importantly, I think, Tenneby, this is what you and I have talked about in the past. And I think we have a lot of people that agree with us and maybe some that don't disagree. You know, people will use, like Rosen will use the Yankees as an example all the time. All the time they won a World Series lately. Well, but at least they're in it every year. And if ownership is willing to spend that money, I'm all in. I want them to. I think most fans would rather go down fighting than say, we made the playoffs and finally won a playoff game after going 0-18 and now we're going to cut payroll, which is what the Twins did. People go, well, that doesn't make much sense to me. This seems like a time.
Our window's open.
I would describe it as the age of Aquarius. Yeah. The moon is in the 7th house. Jupiter's aligned with Mars. Let's go ahead and give it a chance. Go get an ace pitcher or get a middle of the order home run hitter and then see what happens. And if that doesn't work and you think the window's starting to close, you can go back into rebuild mode. I don't think anybody expects their team to be a championship contender year after year. It just doesn't happen very often. That's why, when Golden State won, was it 4 world championships in 8 years? You make a big deal out of that. And they weren't just contenders, they were world champions. And that's, the Lynx won 4 in an 8-year stretch, I think it was.
7-year stretch.
7-year stretch. I mean, that's, you got to pinch yourself when that kind of stuff happens. But at least if you're giving yourself, the old chip in a chair and a chance, where, occasionally, a couple times a decade, I would think of Major League Baseball or any sport. At least once a decade, you should have a 2-3 year window if you're drafting the right people, signing an occasional free agent, got the right guys in the front office. You should be a team we got a chip in a chair and a chance. The Vikings have been very good at that. You can say what you want about the final results because we haven't been to a Super Bowl since we never won one, obviously. We haven't been there since 78, 79 or 77, 78, whatever it was. But they've been to 6 NFC championship games since then, and they've made postseason play a lot. There's that stat about, don't the Vikings have one of the best regular season records overall of all NFL teams in history? They're one of the better teams. So when you're always giving yourself I would say most Viking fans, unless you're the glass half empty guy, which I can certainly be, I think most Vikings fans are at the least cautiously optimistic about the upcoming campaign. And some are probably deliriously happy, like the Paul Allens of the world, that are thinking it's the Vikings and the Falcons in the NFC Championship game, and you're on your own after that, right? So that's all you can ask for. And I think the new owner, whoever he or she may be, or whatever group of people, I would hope they have that kind of attitude where they go, let's have some fun with this thing. And yeah, and if all of a sudden you spend a lot of money in 2, 3, 4 years in a row, you're a bottom feeder. You go, all right, let's back up a little bit. Let's figure something out. Maybe we need a change in the dugout with the manager, the front office, or maybe we need to kind of just a review and revisit how we've put together our franchise. But someone else just said it seems like the Atlanta Braves have had a championship window for the last 40 years. It does seem like they're always competitive. So that's what you want to see in a club. We'll pause, come back, Rock Talk. Brian Oak joins us next in Studio A, our 651 Carpets Plus Studios, climate-controlled 651 Plus Studios, next here on The Fan.
Want to feel more creative but don't have the right laptop? Lenovo.com can help. Look through our legendary lineup of AI-powered PCs and devices and find the one that fits your passion. Our PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, as well as cutting-edge AI tools, allow students to focus, learn, and create with ease. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Plus, college students and teachers can get 5% off their order. Shop now on Lenovo.com. The future's waiting, and it needs you.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com, ODOO.com.
Hi, I'm Bob Pittman, Chairman and CEO of iHeartMedia. On this week's episode of Math and Magic, I'm sitting down with the one and only Bobby Bones. We're exploring the power of audio.
Yeah, I don't fit into one specific hole. I think that is what endeared me to listeners. That's why I'm here now, because I talk to people that grew up like me, have sensibilities like me, and have loyalties like me.
Listen to Math and Magic, stories from the frontiers of marketing on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast.